call the meeting of the Newark City School Board regular meeting. We have a roll call.
Mr. Blind?
Here.
Mr. Blowers?
Here.
Mr. Carr?
Here.
Ms. Nickum?
Here.
And Mr. Weber?
Here. We'll start off today with the Pledge of Allegiance. So I understand that the Weeblos Den of the Cub Scout 4 will lead us in the flag ceremony. All rise.
Color guard, fall in. Please rise for the presentation of the flag. Color guard, advance. Color guard, halt. Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Post the colors. Scout hand salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard, about face. Color guard, retreat. Color guard, halt. Color guard, dismissed. Please be seated.
Thank you. That's nice work. Yes, thank you all very much. We appreciate that. Okay. So, we have any resolutions or
Yeah, we have a recognition, but I would like to thank Joe and Allie Scott back there for the leaders of the Weeblo group, so thank you very much. They're going to stay and watch and see how the board conducts a meeting, so be on your best behavior tonight. We have great young leaders out there in our district. So we would like to recognize, if would, Jasmine Harkin, if Jasmine would come forward, along with Miss Lorenz, the art teacher. And Jasmine won an award and had a piece in the governor's art show. So Jasmine, would you just come up to the podium, please, along with Miss Lorenz? Come right up. And let's give Jasmine a hand for her. Jasmine, I'm going to let you tell them who you are, what grade you're in, and what you were recognized for.
I'm Jasmine Harkin. I am a senior, and I was recognized for a ceramic set that I made in the top 25 of the governor's show.
To clarify a bit, this show is well known in Ohio. Almost all school districts send artwork. Out of over 11,000 artworks from around the state of Ohio, Jasmine is in the top 25. With this will be scholarship offers, and the art show opening is going to be May 5th. This show is up for about a month at the Rhodes Tower in Columbus. It is an amazing show if anybody gets the opportunity to go see it.
Awesome.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good stuff.
Thank you. So we're going to have a special report for Carl College.
Yes, Diane Terry.
We are delighted to be here this evening and want to thank all of you on the New York City Schools Board, along with Doug Ute and Julio Velardes, allowing us to share an update about Calder College. First, we want you to know how grateful we are to have our partnership as Newark City Schools has supported A Call to College since the very beginning. Working together as a team, we've been able to effectively provide valuable programming and manage costs. From our side, some of the costs are effectively leveraged because of volunteers who advise our students and support our programming. Last year, 261 volunteers gave over 2,200 meaningful hours. Newark City Schools teachers and staff support. In 2018 alone, 167 employees gave over 1,400 hours to help with programming. Partnerships with Denison, COTC, OSUM, The Works, and many more local organizations. More than 200 donors consisting of Newark community members, Newark City Schools alumni, Newark City Schools staff, and administrators who annually contribute to A Call to College. When A Call to College began over 27 years ago, we would never have imagined what we would have been able to achieve together. The program would not be where it is today without the generous support that we have received, both monetary and in kind, from the Newark City Schools Board. Speaking of Newark City Schools and a great partnership, one of the things that A Call to College is blessed with is a very supportive and engaged board and staff, and we have some happy news to share. In January of 2018, having retired as executive director, I stepped in as A Call to College board president, and Sarah Wallace, who is with us this evening, promised to remain very actively engaged as she became the immediate past president. At that point, Tara Howdeshell, who has been with us for 5 years, was selected as the incoming executive director, and she has already proven her abilities as she moves this program thoughtfully forward under her leadership. So some of you may already know Tara, but if not, we'd like to welcome Tara Howdeshell to share some program updates.
I want to share first that my transition into the role of A Call to College as Executive Director has been met warmly and openly by Newark City Schools leadership. Mr. Hute, Mr. Bowman, so many others have been incredibly supportive and have made my job that much easier. So I'm just really grateful for the welcome that I've had. I had the great opportunity this evening to share a little bit about what we do in Newark schools every year on a daily basis. And luckily, there's not much more I enjoy talking about. So, A Call to College has successfully sustained previously added programming as well as funded new programming in multiple areas at the high school level since 2015. In addition to adding programming and as a result of our peak program maturing, in fact, this year, our current class of juniors are the first to receive all 4 grade levels of peak. We are serving more students now than ever before. We currently serve approximately 2,000 elementary and middle school students and 1,500 high school students in our 9th through 12th grade programming. So I want to share a little bit about how our programming has grown since 2015. In 14-15, we officially began to take our full advising program on wheels to serve our students who choose to attend CTEC their junior and senior year. We meet with them 3 times per year and offer similar experiences to those offered at Newark High School. In 15-16, we implemented our 9th grade program, Start Your Story, in collaboration with Newark High School's My 700 Project Success course, and in preparation with building leadership and teachers. We serve all freshmen through this curriculum. Also in 15-16, in collaboration with Newark High School administrators, counselors, and teachers, we added a college application blitz event where approximately 100 seniors submit their college applications with the help of college reps from more than 25 schools who mostly waive their application fees for the evening. It's an extraordinary fall event that helps our seniors be on track for their plans after high school. In 16-17, we added a Family Feud game and college knowledge experience for all sophomores. Also in partnership with My 700 Project. It has been a great way for us to stay connected with the students, have a little fun, and remind them that we'll see them a lot more starting their junior year. In 16-17, we piloted and implemented in 17-18 a new student information system named College Path, which all of our staff and volunteer advisors utilize. This new technology is helping us serve our high school students more efficiently and effectively, and has allowed our office to greatly decrease our dependency on student paper files. In 18-19, currently directed and encouraged by our board, we have completely realigned and revamped the prestigious and significant Marion D. Wetzel Scholarship Program for high-achieving and high-need seniors. We're currently in the process of awarding 3 students up to $12,000 per year for up to 5 years via our new in-depth and well-rounded application and selection process. Last and certainly not least, for new programming, this year we have begun the process planning for an advising program to serve Newark Digital Academy juniors and seniors. Our meetings thus far have been wonderful with NDA's leadership, and we're really looking forward to serving these students as best as we possibly can, meeting them where they're at. Our advising services for NDA students will officially begin next academic year. So a highlight of our programming and reaching back all the way to 1992 is the offering of last dollar grants. Students who meet eligibility requirements and who demonstrate unmet financial need are eligible for up to $1,000 per year for up to 4 years to assist with their cost of education after high school. More than 220 returning college students and recent high school graduates receive last dollar grant assistance annually. More than $3 million in last dollar grants have been awarded to students since 1992. Last dollar grants have grown from $15,000 in 1992 to $240,000 in 2018. The incredible thing about coming to work every day for A Call to College is that we get to work with an amazing team of professionals and volunteers who care about nothing more than inspiring, supporting, encouraging, and empowering Newark students and families. And in our work, we have the honor and privilege of also working with dedicated, committed, and supportive Newark Schools administrators, teachers, and staff. It is an absolute honor to see how great our partnership plays out in the lives of students and families. We are beyond fortunate to be a part of it. So in that, we promise to continue to work hard to improve our programming every year, doing all we can as we continue to serve Newark City schools. And Diane and I are prepared this evening to answer any questions you might have about our program. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks for coming on.
I would like to make a comment. Whenever you thank the board and the district for their support, we thank you, Sarah and Diane, and you, Tara, for your leadership and what you do for not just our children, but their families. Here, I just think it's outstanding the number of kids' lives you're touching with a fantastic program. And I would say on another note, as we took in NDA this year and added that, I couldn't have asked for more out of this group to transition into helping our students at the Digital Academy also. So thank you for that. We appreciate all you do.
Having read a little book to a group of second graders when my son was in second grade and he started at that level, what a cool thing. You know, to see it to continue to grow and to make a difference in so many lives, and the number of young people that I hear who say, you know, I got last dollar grants, you know, and how much that means to them, and that's just a wonderful thing. So appreciate what you guys do very much.
Here I remember when, I think it was 2009, we were having all the financial problems trying to get levy passed, this and that, and just about that same time, we had ROTC come along and say, you can have your group, and then you folks approached us about the PEAP program. I think it was 2009. And I think Tim had arrived at the time too.
Yeah.
And I still remember we basically turned to Jeff Anderson and said, Jeff, can you find $20,000? And he said, if you tell me to, I'll find it. And one of the best decisions we made.
appreciate Jeff, all of you.
You mentioned being grateful for Newark City Schools, the support we've given you, and I kind of chuckle because it cannot surpass the amount of gratefulness we feel towards a college and the amount of gratefulness that the students that receive the grants feel. And a lot of people are familiar with the high school programming, but the elementary and middle school programs have just as huge impact on our students, and so I truly appreciate that. And I've mentioned before, I've met some of the donors to Call to College before, and they are cheerful givers. They truly are. They are so happy to be contributing to the Call to College and to the Newark City School students. And I think that that's part of what makes it successful, is you have these cheerful givers with a creative and ambitious staff working so hard for these students. It's an amazing collaboration, and we really do appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
They're givers, I always feel like we're the takers. This district needs so much for what we contribute.
Yeah,
We are very blessed as a community to have this program. I don't know of a program like it anywhere. I don't. And so we're so blessed. So thank you so much.
Well, I can tell you that each of us as staff members feel blessed to have the roles that we have. We absolutely love what we do every single day. We love working with our partners in our city schools, and we love working with students. So it's a blessing on all sides.
Thank you.
On a side note, Tara's on the board at Lakewood, so she gets to come to a board meeting. People tell her how great she is. I'm sure you get that out there all the time.
I knew I wasn't going to get away tonight without you mentioning that. Thank you.
Appreciate what you do.
So now, it's your unit, Boys and Girls Club? Boys and
Yes.
Girls Club?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for having me. I'm wearing two hats tonight, and before I move to the Boys and Girls Club, I just want to say one thing. One of the most critical things in any organization is succession planning, and this succession that we've had with Diane and Tara has been so seamless and smooth, and you know, Tara is just doing an amazing job running this program. It gets bigger and bigger, and Diane is doing an amazing job as the president of the board. So I'm just along for the ride now, just doing my thing. So
Stay on the bus.
yeah, I'm still on the bus, we're doing our thing. So, but let me talk just for, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. I'm kidding. I'll give you 2 minutes on the Boys and Girls Club. You all are aware that we've been working for about 16 months on bringing the Boys and Girls Club of Newark to the Mulholland Elementary School building. So we started construction today. So they're doing demo today. We've spent the last 16 months really gathering resources, fundraising, and that sort of thing, doing construction plans, and really figuring out what we were going to do with the building, and then also working on the start of programming, because the Boys and Girls Club of Newark will provide a summer program. This summer will be 5 weeks long. Next summer will be 10 weeks long, and we'll move into the building actually right about the time school starts in the fall. So it's getting very, very exciting. We've been working, and now we're really starting to see kind of the fruits of our labor and what we're doing. Just anecdotally, over the weekend, we were in the building and getting all of the miscellaneous stuff out of the building in preparation for Robertson Construction, and we had probably 15 people from the neighborhood who came and brought their kids and were helping carry and do stuff. It was just fabulous. We had 8 male students from Denison who came over for the afternoon to help carry stuff. The amount of partnership and enthusiasm, the ease of fundraising, the number of in-kind contributions and volunteers, and it's just, I've done a lot of work over the last 4 years or so, and this is like having a tiger by the tail. I just want to tell you, it sells itself. People are really excited about it, and I just want to thank Doug and Yemi and Larry Williams and all. We've had a lot of people within the New York City schools who have been involved from the very start. What are you laughing at?
I'm just excited about it.
Oh.
I'm excited about it.
But
Yeah.
this partnership with the Newark City Schools is absolutely critical and so appreciated. So it's, we'll keep you posted, and because we're gonna be moving quickly and getting it done. So it'll be great. You guys, thank you very much. I hate to have my back to people. Thank you so much for having us. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Just so the board knows, I know you know this before everybody else, the summer program this summer will be piloted at McGuffey. So we think the staff, Mark's got we have buildings to clean. And so when somebody's in there 5 weeks, but our Mark staff is ready to go, and Cindy Baker's been wonderful with that. And any way we can give our kids an experience this summer, something extra. And I know I was so excited Friday at the board meeting for the Boys and Girls Club. Just, I mean, it is, what a way to spend an hour and a half. I know Diane sits on there. I mean, just really energized group. It's a great partnership. Denison University, many businesses out there, the school. Of course, Sarah, we can't let you leave without telling you how much we appreciate what you're doing. And I was chuckling because when you were talking, I thought to myself, and you were going to step back and lighten your load up a little bit. And you got that tiger by the tail and going. But so thank you for what you're doing.
My pleasure.
Great stuff.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Communications from the floor. So we're going to invite members of the public are invited to provide input to the board. Something about the issue of freedom. That's later?
Yes.
Okay. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes each. All public comments will be closed after 30 minutes, and a sign-up sheet will be used if asked to determine the order in which a person will address the board. So, do you have any communications from the floor? That's you. That's me. Yes, sir. Step right here, state your name.
I'm hard of hearing, so. Yes, to the board members of the Newark City Board of Education, my name is Dan Fortney, my wife Tracy Fortney. Real briefly, Mr. Utes is aware of this, what I want to do here, and I think he's passing it out, so I'll make it real brief. My house is located at 600 Beacon Road. I border up to Ben Franklin Elementary. There's some land there that I've been taking care of that belongs to the school, and I do it out of just the atmosphere and the love of it and everything else. But now it's to the point I wouldn't mind buying it. So I just wish that at least some of the paperwork is around, and if you take some consideration to the proposal, there's like a couple options. I think there might even be an option 3 since we met last week, but that's basically it. I will say this much, if it doesn't work out, we will still keep our eyes out for Ben Franklin School at 24/7 all the time, and we've never had a problem. It's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I guess the issue is it Fred Davis?
Fred Davis, yeah.
Is he here?
No,
Okay. Do you have anything to share, Dennis?
well, no, I would just, I'll read this communication from the floor for you.
Okay.
Members of the public are invited to provide input on board, or to the board, on the issue of Fred Davis reappointment In the district following his retirement, speakers are limited to 5 minutes each, and all public comments must be closed after 30 minutes. A sign-up sheet will be used if necessary to determine the order which persons will address them.
Hearing none others, okay. There's an other in there. Is there anything that you'd like to comment on that? Okay, treasurer's recommendation.
Yes, this evening we have 4 recommendations. A is the approval of board minutes of March 11, 2019. B is the approval of March 29, 2019 financial reports, which you have on with you tonight. Letter C is the approval of fiscal year 2019 permanent supplemental appropriations resolutions for 2 funds. Letter D is the approval of service agreement with the ESC of Northeast Ohio. Going back to number 2, which is the approval of March financials. We discussed those financials a half hour ago prior to the meeting with the finance committee, which Tom Blind and Mark Warren Weber are a part of that committee. I reported that the district is on target with revenues as well as expenditures, and hopefully we can finish up the year, which is 3 months away, in the same manner. Any questions after you have a chance to take a look at it? Please don't hesitate to give me a call or email. Any questions?
I'll move the accessory.
I got a question.
I move to accept treasurer's recommendation.
And I'll second.
Okay.
Your question?
Yeah, on D, the Educational Service Center in Northeast Ohio, I feel like I know what we're paying.
This is, Doug will probably be the best
Do they
one
have
to.
expense involved in the cut?
He's questioning the letter D with the contract.
Oh,
with
the
ESC.
ESC. Yeah, it's a contract to put together, formulate the report of the Patterson Fair funding. They asked districts to pay $1 per student involved in that. We decided, Lulu and I talked about we would be more willing to recommend 50 cents per student. So it's to formulate a report to present to the legislature on fair funding.
So they had outside expense involved in it?
Yes.
They probably spent from time to time meetings over the last 2 years, and Doug was a big part of the poverty portion of that funding model, that he had to go meetings, oh gosh, I don't know how many meetings you had in 2 years.
Well, quite a few.
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
And because of the participation of Doug in that meeting, I feel like rather than paying $1, we ought to be at least 50 cents, because he spent so much time traveling over and back to those meetings over the
They were
last 2
paying
years.
outside consultants, or,
No, this is just to formulate the report.
so do they have out-of-pocket expenses involved?
Yes, they hired a
Website?
group to formulate the report, put it together, and present it to the legislature.
And they also have a website where you can go over there and look at all the work they've done.
So this is actually reimbursing them for actual out-of-pocket,
Exactly.
not their
Yes.
own time or?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So are the other districts contributing, also districts that had members on the committee?
Yes.
Yes. They all got members of this for the same amount.
Some districts gave $1, some recommended 50 cents.
I guess I was just surprised I didn't realize there was gonna be a fee associated with the
Nor did I till the end. Yes.
And can somebody tell them that Jeff Anderson isn't the treasurer?
Oh,
The bill was in Jeff's
Oh.
name.
Oh, yeah.
Nice article in the Dispatch today on it, though. We got some front page and most of one page, the middle section. Lots of back and forth in that. A lot of positive feedback. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of positive across the state.
Yeah.
Trying to look at what it does to all districts and not just one. But Lulu and I did look at just one district, and yeah, we're not disappointed with the outcome. I think it's fair. But there's a lot of debate that'll go on the next couple months before the governor sets that
We'll
budget.
get kicked around a lot.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Been motion and a second?
They got it. Okay, Mr. Carr,
Yes.
Mr. Flowers,
Yes.
Mr. Blind,
Yes.
Ms. Nickum,
Yes.
and Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Number 3, superintendent's recommendations.
Under personnel, we don't have a whole lot of activity this month, but I know that our folks have been out on the recruiting trail, so hopefully next month we'll have a good list of hirees to start for next year. But we do have a couple resignations on the list, a few appointments. Do want to call, as you see down through here, our guest teacher list for next year on there, and I appreciate getting a good start on this. As you know, this is difficult for us. I want to point out under item 8A, that by law, it's recommended the following substitute teachers not be reemployed for the 2019-20 school year. This is folks who have been in the same position over 60 days. And I always want to point out it has nothing to do with their job performance. Just by law, we have to do this. As a matter of fact, we appreciate their commitment. Under B, please make sure that you have a correction, second and third names under extended days, Scott Coble and Michelle Watt. Scott should be at 15, Michelle 10. And so I wanted to make sure that you have that down correctly. And again, with the list of extended days, those are approved by their supervisors. So it's not that they're just given these days, up to is what that says. And then item C, approval under the sick leave accumulations. Recommend the Board of Education approve the maximum accumulation of sick leave be the same as classified and certified, unlimited for administrators. That is not an additional cost to the district. So items 1 through 8 under A.
I would ask that my father, Larry Rogers, be pulled from the substitute list to be voted on.
It has, we already have it at the end of his resolution. 4 years, 10 years.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, it's separate.
It's not.
Okay, so when we do the voting, it'll be
Okay,
separate.
I have it.
So I'll move that we approve superintendent's recommendations 3A with the exception of Martha Flowers and Larry Rogers. And also, we don't have the contract yet on.
Oh, no.
So also exclude A.
No, it's,
Not a.
that is not in here.
We cut it out.
It's 3A, well, hey, I'm using a
Yeah, you got
agenda
that.
I printed off.
You got the other one. 8A is a substitute, so we
So
pulled.
that's off.
We did
Yeah, it
not
is off.
get that back, so we did pull that.
I didn't realize there was a difference between what we got the other day and what was here.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Mr. Blind,
Yes.
Mr. Flowers,
Yes.
Mr. Carr,
Yes.
Ms. Nickum,
Yes.
and Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So we have a supplemental. You want to vote on the others?
We have 2 more.
We have 2 more, the substitute approval for Martha Flowers and Larry Rogers, separate.
Okay.
So the first one would be the approval of Martha Flowers as substitute. We need a motion for that. Mr.
I'll
Carr,
second.
Ms. Nick.
Should we discuss that?
Okay, now
Sure,
discussions,
if you
Mr.
want.
Carr,
Yes.
Ms. Nickum,
Yes.
Mr. Blind,
Yes.
Mr. Flowers,
Abstain.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Motion carries. And now we need the motion for Larry Rogers.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Blind,
This guy can't pass it. Yes.
Mr. Blowers,
Yes.
Mr. Carr,
Yes.
Ms. Nickam,
Abstain.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And just so everybody knows, there is a line on the list, but that's the second cousin, which is far enough removed
For you not to have to. Okay.
Now we go into.
Okay, under students curriculum,
Yes.
special education contracts, we only have one approved with the East City Schools. Item B, autism seat agreement with Licking County ESC is on there for next school year. Item 4A is approval resolution for authorizing membership in Ohio High School Athletic Association for next year. We do have under C, one gift in the amount of $5,000 from Robin Satterfield, Kathy Metz Memorial Scholarship Fund. We appreciate Robin Satterfield and her family for that generous donation. Under D, business, recommended board approve all change orders from Robert Street Construction for MTW Phase 2 project as shown in the appendix. And then advertising of bids, recommended the Board of Education authorize the treasurer to advertise for bids for the following project: asphalt paving for parking lots at Legend and MTW. Excuse me. And item 3 there, approval of a college contract, call to college contract for 5 years. So down at the bottom, make sure it says June 30th, 2024.
Okay.
Motion.
So you're gonna, okay.
I'll second.
Tom 10.
All right. Mr. Blind,
Yes.
Mr. Carr,
Yes.
Mr. Blowers,
Yes.
Ms. Nickam,
Yes.
and Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under intent to adopt board policies, recommend the Board of Education announce its intent to adopt the following policies as shown in the appendix. An announcement be made that these policies will be available to the board, staff, and public for inspection in the office of the superintendent of schools from April 9th, 2019 through May 13th, 2019. File policy 6320, purchasing and bidding, 6423, use of credit cards, and 7300, disposition of real property and personal property.
Say again.
How did you get out half and read the rest of us all had to read?
I might have hopped on a, I apologize.
Kindness.
I'll let you do it next
The
time.
kindness of the superintendent.
What's your name?
You must have told Ray or something.
All right.
Motion to adjourn. Mr. Carr,
I'll second.
Mr. Blowers.
Quick board discussion.
Did you have any board discussion prior to that? I'm sorry.
We need to vote on A. We need to vote on just
No, that's just
No.
a notice that they're in the office for review.
the intent to adopt. How is
No.
that?
We don't have to adopt it or not.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Carr. Are there any board
There's no
discussion?
We got discussion.
We cannot pass up on board discussion. Tom has things to say.
Oh, okay. All right. My apologies.
I may not speak, but Tom has things.
Okay.
I never have anything to say.
Speechless.
Oh, no, we're not passable.
We're at that point.
I'd like to thank the Webelos for being here tonight. That was great. Be sure to watch yourselves on TV, you and our couple million other viewers. Don't be surprised if you don't get phone calls from fans. You know, there'll be a lot of people see it. But it's always great to have a group come in and do that sort of thing, so thank you. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. Guy in the front here. Thanks to Robin Satterfield for the generous donation. A call to college, you know, that's sort of a no-brainer. You know, for what we get out of them and our students get out of them, for the amount that we pay them. I think probably every school district in the state of Ohio would be jealous of the setup we've got there and what we get out of that organization. And the Boys and Girls Club, that is going to be a really great thing for our kids. You know, it's gone from an idea to just ready to happen so fast. I'm sure Amanda, the director, doesn't think it's been fast, but it's just amazing what's going on there and what it's going to mean to our kids. Congratulations to Jasmine. If you think she's one of 25 out of 11,000, you know, she needs to play the lottery or something with those odds. Other than that, spring activities are in full swing. Get out and support our students. And our students, we're in that final sprint. We're down to what, about 6 or 7 weeks? I think it's 30-some days left. And I'm sure there's folks out there that can tell us exactly how many.
The official answer for my children was too many. Too many.
But anyway, we're in that final kick, so let's cross the finish line in good shape. I'll pass. Oh, I could go on.
Gentlemen, young men of Webelos 4, nice job. Thank you so much. That meant a lot to us. We appreciate you very much. And thanks for staying, okay? It's important, I think. It was nice to have you here. It was a nice group to see tonight. Again, I'll just ditto everything Tom just thank everybody. This is a wonderful community to live in, to be part of. There's so much collaboration and cooperation that goes on. Like Tom said, there'll be a lot of communities pretty jealous of what we have here, not because we're rich, but because of how, well, we're not rich as some communities in terms of money, but we are rich in the way we live and work together. So I feel very proud to be on a board of education that we don't think politics, we don't talk politics, we talk about the kids. And we talk about our students and our teachers. We're here to serve them and our whole community. So with that, thank you and enjoy the sunshine. It's supposed to be beautiful next couple of days.
Yes.
Are you going to enjoy the sunshine?
I'll probably be in the sunshine as my daughter runs middle school track. And so I will get to see that fabulous event. And she's doing that now, matter of fact, out in Nickerington. So,
Good luck with the sunshine. I think it usually rains more than it sunshines in track events.
yes, it does.
You would definitely be outdoors.
We've been blessed. The first two were dry. Not necessarily warm, but dry. And that's a bonus. There's so much good going on in Newark, and it's a combination of citizens, teachers, administrators. I'd like to think the board does some stuff. But we have some fine young men that were here today, the Webelos, who will continue those things on because they're seeing how to do it. And thanks for the parents for coming and sticking with it. And I know that the conversation was riveting, and but I'm hopeful that you can, you know, but say I went to one of those, and I know those things they do. It's exciting for me to see great stuff happening for the children of our district. If you don't like children, I probably have a problem with you because you should like children. And the fact that the school district is moving in the right direction, the Boys and Girls Club is going to be a great thing to help some kids and to put them in a position to succeed and to move forward is an incredible thing. And that's kind of the desire, I think, for all of us. And it's neat to see that. Musicals coming up, concerts, orchestra. There's a plethora of things to do. And so take a chance, go out and see some of those things. And the middle school track meets are the best. The last one was only like 4 hours. My daughter did 7 minutes out of 4 hours. So it was wonderful though.
parental dedication.
Yeah, parental dedication, that's right.
Okay, so testing season is upon us, so I wish good luck to all those students. Don't stress about it. Just go in and relax, do your best. I would like to thank the students and parents at the high school in advance for their patience during the end of course testing. There's a lot of schedule changes, and I appreciate their patience. Wish there weren't so many schedule changes, but that's the way it works. Do not ask me why end of course testing begins at the beginning of April and school's not out to the end of the May. I cannot explain it. You would have to get with the state legislator to figure that one out. But end of course testing is happening in full swing at the high school, so do well on that, study for them, and make sure you're looking at your schedule closely to make sure what time you're supposed to be at the high school that day. Thank you to the Weeblos. You guys did an excellent job. That you should be really proud. You did a great job. Excellent. And I think that's about all I have.
Well, I echo for the young man that came over here and presented the flag to us. It was a very nice project for them, and it's amazing to see how leaders they can be, and they will be a good leaders down the road. I'm also looking forward for the summer programs that we're going to have during the summer, like STEM, Boys and Girls Camp. So it's going to be a very, very busy summer that hopefully we have a nice one and we're all going to have fun.
I too, Allie, I know Allie Scott back here. Did Joe leave? Stepped out, but thank you to the two of you for your leadership with the Weeblo group, and to the parents out here who came tonight. And I do want to say in Newark City Schools, we're all about leadership and community service in this district, and those two words there our students got a lot of tonight coming in here. So thank you, students, for your leadership, and I think most of you are from Carson and Hillview, right? So two wonderful schools that are doing a lot of good things, and so you represent your school very, very well tonight. I too would like to thank Calder College and Boys and Girls Club for coming in tonight and sharing what they're doing, because they're doing so many good things in our community and partnering with us to help our students out. Would like to mention lastly that in about 3 weeks, or the first week of May, is a big anniversary here for the school district. And we talked about it earlier today a lot about, it was 10 years ago the last time that the school district asked for new money. And the community helped us out so much in early May in 2009. I don't want to lose sight of the fact that that was 10 years ago. Our forecast looks pretty good in the future, so now we're in the double digits of remaining on 2009 money and not asking for new at this time. And when I think back and listen to the board members speak and listen to folks come in and all the good things that we have going on here in the district, it's twofold. Number one, being able to operate in 10-year money for a school district is special, and seeing that future look bright financially that way. But more importantly, we've improved so many things in our school district, and we're not the same folks we were in 2009. I wasn't here when that levy passed, but came 2 months later in August and looked at our programs and what the board had promised the community they would do with that money when they passed it. And the reality is, we're not the same people we were in 2009. We're not the same organization, because our needs of the students and families have changed. And I'm very proud of the way the district has adapted to those changes in servicing the needs of our students. And so many programs. Julio mentioned what we're doing in the summer. We're really a year-round, 7-day-a-week, 24/7 concentrated on how we help our students, whether it be with meals or extra programs and those type of things. So just want to thank the board and our community, and most importantly our students, because we have some fantastic students. You've witnessed some of them tonight. They're doing great things. So I'm just proud to be the superintendent in the Newark City Schools, and it is a great time to be a cat.
I do have something to say tonight, so.
So,
First thing again, looking at the Cub Scouts, you all may not believe it, but many years ago, I wore that same uniform as a Cub Scout, and I still remember those times. And I know for the kids, they were thinking, Jesus, they have Cub Scouts back then. And also know I appreciate you all coming in, and I know that you all want to leave. You probably, your parents have bribed you and said, if you stay, I'll get you ice cream or pizza. There's a reason, but I really do appreciate you all coming in. A couple other things we talked about, the Collier College, the Boys and Girls Club. I just came back this weekend before last. I went to Detroit to see my sisters, and wow. And then this past Saturday, I drove to Chicago, watched my 13-year-old play soccer for the Columbus Crew, and drove back Sunday. My daughter drove. I slept. That's what old people do. But I thought about driving through the streets and thinking, we're not doing so bad. We're doing pretty good. We have these organizations, Cub Scouts, the Collier College Boys and Girls Club. So, and all I think that we want to do is to give our kids an opportunity to become productive citizens in our community or whatever community they choose. I went to a couple of conferences in the last month or so, and they all talked about the cultures that we live in and how we can tap into those cultures so that everybody's on the same playing field. That people from different cultures and different economic backgrounds especially talk different languages. So you have to make sure that the message that you send to the kids is received, and they in turn can talk back to you. The other thing is there's a quarterly Community Partnership Council, a quarterly forum, and I went to early childhood trauma, and next month, on the 8th of May, they're going to have a food availability and insecurity, and our head of the cafeterias and all is going to speak at that. So if you have a chance to go to these, they're only like 2 hours long, and they talk about what's available in the county as well as in the city to give you an insight as to what's going on in our community. Other than that, I want to thank you all for being here, and we're not going into executive session today.
I did have one thing to say.
Yes,
I will be unable to attend the May board meeting, so I don't know if you want to change that meeting or just march on without me, but I cannot make it on the 13th.
And I won't be able to make it on my following day.
So you guys can just keep on trucking without me.
We'll try.
I know it'll be tough.
All right, Mr. Carr, I should say. Mr. Carr, adjourn.
Yes, please.
Mr. Blowers,
Yes.
Mr. Blind,
Yes.
Ms. Nickum,
Yes.
and Mr. Weber. Yes. We adjourn at 7:24.
And right here in the front row, where do you go to school? Where? Jackson? Okay. I saw you shaking your head when we were talking about the
Yeah,
other
I
one.
see that too.
And I want you to be able to represent your school.
Yes, sir.
Because you did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.